Before battling the boss of the Beast's Nest, it would be wise to stock up a bit on the local items. The Beast boss is equally weak to all magic. However, each magic spell raises its attack power. It's not too tricky of a boss battle, although you may lose against it once or twice if you don't heal yourself with tonics at calculated times. Like most bosses, you just need to find the right rhythm. You'll likely level up after this fight, and you win a shelter to add to your inventory. At the end of this battle, Magus uncovers a hiding Lasher, possibly the same Lasher that greeted him at the beginning of the nest. Their reason for watching over him was to swoop in and save Magus in the case that he couldn't fight. Clearly, Magus had already proven himself by uncovering the Guru's secret chambers, and Dalton's idea wasn't exactly the best idea to fully follow through on. The Queen likely just wanted some more information on the Prophet. Meanwhile, at this stage in the game, Chrono and the gang are just waking up for their second romp in prehistory. If you can recall, this is the stage where Laruba, Ioka's sister village, gets demolished by the Reptites. This leads the main party to ransacking Torano Lair, defeating Azala, and witnessing Lavos' meteor crash into the planet firsthand. It's a bit sad when Azala goes down with her kingdom, I will admit, but for now, the story is about Magus. Magus presents his beast hide back at Zeal Palace for the Queen. Dalton is of course flabbergasted. Magus' performance exceeds the Queen's expectations and guarantees him an esteemed place within her service. She also notes that his earlier prediction of the newborn Earthbound child has come true. Shala, the sweetheart she is off visiting the child, which baffles the cold-hearted Queen. Wasting no time, Magus cuts to the chase and inquires about the status of the Ocean Palace. He flatters the Queen again by guaranteeing her absolute rule through his false prophecy, but he once again warns her of Chrono and the gang's imminent arrival that may foil destiny, for they seek to destroy Lavos. He describes the party to her and makes a special jab at Glenn, calling his stance cowardly. He also calls Robo a golden doll, like a Poyozo doll? I guess that's not too outlandish in Zeal. All this to say that their destiny is guaranteed, yet at the same time can be altered? I suppose this proves that he has the Queen right in his palm. He also takes the opportunity to remind the Queen that the Gurus are not to be trusted, and that the discovery of their secret labs will cause them to sabotage the Mammon Machine. I gotta say, it's pretty brilliant that Magus proved his clairvoyant abilities and shattered the Guru's credibility in one move. Magus is then brought to a royal guest room that is accessible through a door that I'm sure any Chrono fan would have never even thought was a door. I'd say it's a good reimagining of the tile set. The young Giannis, at long last, notices his older self. An awkward silence follows, to which Magus stammers over the wisest words he can impart to Giannis. Look after Alphador. I must say, I do think there's more to Alphador than meets the eye, but that's a topic for another video. The royal bedroom area is quite nice. It has its own healing spot, and it's soundproofed. Dalton's bedroom is here too, but you can't access it. There's a lesser glory bedroom for non-heir relatives that the Queen currently stays in, since the greater glory bedroom, the main bedroom of the King and Queen, has not been used since the mysterious death of King Zeal. During a mandatory nap, Magus dreams up a striking scene from his past. Seeming to be just outside his castle, around 600 AD, we see the ground zero moment of his plan to summon Lavos in order to win the Mystic War and then some. Ozzy is enthusiastic. Slash has huge doubts about the plan seeming a bit extra to say the least. And Flea is thrilled, fascinated, yet a touch nervous. Yet, they are all de facto on board. Another lovely dream sequence follows, with young Giannis and Shala walking about the Ocean Palace, with the second non-trigger track playing as a backdrop. This time it's the track Grieve from Romancing Saga 3, also done in Chrono Trigger style, but with the original version of the track currently playing in the background right now. At the time of this video, it's a game and series I have not actually played. However, if this gorgeous track is any indication of its quality, then it's something I should definitely try out sooner than later. Anyways, Giannis discloses the consistent worries he has regarding the christening of the Ocean Palace, the forthcoming power of the Mammon Machine, and the awakening of Lavos. Shala assures Giannis that the Gurus fully back this course of action, and that their mother has trustworthy intentions. Giannis mentions that the Black Wind is back, and Shala responds with something quite intriguing. That the Black Wind is always with us, with Zeal. That defying the Black Wind is what Zeal stands for. That Lavos can silence the Black Wind. I'll discuss my thoughts on what I think the Black Wind is later on in the appendix. But for now, I'll speak about what this scene may say about Shala and Giannis' dynamic. This exchange bolsters the point that even though Shala seemed to be the more powerful mage, Magus was always at least more in tune to the reality of the situation. This is not to knock Shala, since her kind-heartedness is a lot to admire in and of itself. But her optimism and faith was certainly easy to take advantage of. Although, it's at the end of this exchange, where Giannis asks Shala if she really believes in the Queen's plan, that we see that deep down, she knows something is wrong with it all. I think she had a lot of faith in what Zeal could be, and if she were at the helm, and a little more mature and wise, it would certainly be much better off, and the Black Wind would certainly not be persistently howling. Magus awakens and enters the Queen's throne room once more. We see Melchior warning the Queen about the kind of power that Lavos really is. That Lavos will only bring corruption and destruction to Zeal and the planet. Earlier, we touched upon Melchior perhaps being the most knowledgeable on Lavos. Sure, all of the Gurus eventually come to learn the gravity of Lavos' existence, but it seems that Melchior is the first to outwardly try to put a stop to it. He must also feel the most guilt, also due to directly engineering the means to siphoning Lavos' power. Even the exceedingly brilliant Balthazar uses the frozen flame to power Chronopolis, well beyond the point where he should have known better. The Queen dismisses his warning, not only because he once championed the use of the energy, but also because the discovery of the secret chambers has led the Queen to start distrusting anything the Gurus say. Quite the checkmate, Magus. Melchior presses on, but the Queen gives no further audience to him. She demands that Magus escort him to the Mountain of Woe, the floating mountain prison that's Zeal's final punishment. Melchior unsuccessfully attacks Magus, which chokes him up. The Queen's aide summons a special skyway in the throne room, which will transport Magus to the Queen's bedroom, which houses an access gate to the Mountain of Woe. Magus forces Melchior through the skyway and into the Queen's lesser glory bedroom to retrieve a full ether and full tonic. Melchior still tries to convince Magus of the idiocy of letting the Mammon Machine plan come to fruition. Magus is, of course, magnitudes ahead in terms of his knowledge of the situation, and has his own plan for Lavos. Magus steps into the access gate, and is warned that beasts will try to attack Magus and Melchior, and that Magus should protect Melchior from injury.